Good morning. All right, I am headed into the office. I've made a mess by spilling my drink. I just got in the car and I bumped something and spilled my drink. I have a little harsh truth for the ladies this morning. A lot of the content ideas I get come from my coaching clients. They come from my counseling clients. And it's good because I know other people need to hear like what I'm saying in this session. And so it's actually a really good thing when they bring a question to me or they're struggling with something. I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm talking to this person, but at the same time, I know thousands upon millions of other people need to hear it too. So here's a piece of harsh truth for the ladies. And, you know, I wouldn't be me if days didn't go by. I'm going to fix this right now because it is sunny out here. Sorry, y'all. It is beyond sunny. So I'm going to move my phone away from that side because it is super sunny out here. So the sun is going to hit it and we're going to have a problem. It wouldn't be me if a day didn't go by where a woman was not accusing me of being harsh, of being cold, of being cruel, of calling me a pick-me or whatever, right? It wouldn't be me. And that's why I tell people, yep, I get that almost every day. And thankfully, you know, I have tough skin and I can take it. But here's the piece of harsh truth for the ladies. Ladies, you ready? A lot of women, they will come to me and they are in relationships with men and they will complain about the man that they're in relationship with. They will tell me all the horrible things that that man is doing or has done. They will take a man back after he has cheated on them or done something horrible to them, lied to them, stolen from them, you know, ignored them, just something horrible, right? So this horrible thing happens, put their hands on them. This horrible thing happens and they go back to the man. And then they come to me and they say, you know, this is still bothering me. Like, how do I move past it? How do I get over it? Because this is still a thing or this is still bothering me. Some of the women will actually say the thing that he did, he's still doing. And again, they come to me, they bring these criticisms and complaints, and he's so awful and this and that. Here comes the harsh truth. And I'm going to deliver it every single time. It wouldn't be me if I didn't. The first thing I'm going to do is validate them. Wow, that's awful. Wow, that really sucks. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. I'm sorry that happened to you. Wow, that should not have happened. You know, you shouldn't have been in that. I'm going to validate you. That's the first thing I'm going to do is validate you. But right after that, right after I validate you, I'm going to ask you, why are you with him? And that's the harsh truth that many women do not want to hear. You all do not want to take responsibility and accountability for your situation. You all do not want to come to the conclusion of, I could do something about this. So like, that's what y'all don't want to do. I have full control over this situation. Like, I don't understand it because that's not the type of woman that I am. I relish my power. I relish my sovereignty. I love it here. I love being grown. Okay? If you are an adult woman, you are not a child, you're an adult. You have 100% sovereignty over your life. 100% responsibility over your life. 100% accountability over your life. Okay? You right there. All right? But for some reason, a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women, y'all don't want to take it. Y'all don't want to take it. You want everybody else. Why is he doing me this way? Why is my mother doing this? Why is my girlfriend doing this? Why are my kids like this? Like, you want everybody else. Everybody else got to be held accountable, but you. That don't make no sense. Like, at some point, you have to come to the realization that I did long time ago. I can't make nobody do nothing. I can't make nobody do nothing. I can't, make this man choose me, love me, want me, treat me well. I can't do any of that. But then, you know what I did? I woke up and said, well, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do about this? What do I have within my power and strength to do about this? And then I did it. That's it. Like, that's it. That's all. Do what you can do. So, number one, a man who's treating me in a way that is, cruel, harsh, disrespectful, if a man is treating me any kind of way that don't feel good, that isn't beneficial, that isn't positive, I remove access. That's what I have the power to do. He no longer has access. He no longer has access to me. He no longer reaches me on the phone. He no longer reaches me on social media. He no longer has access to my front door, to my home, and anywhere else. Like, I disappear. I go away. And I truly, honestly, I have to ask women. I'm asking y'all, so if there's any women on here right now, like, I honestly want you to answer me. Please tell me why that's so difficult. Why is that so hard for you to step into that power and remove access to yourself? When a man is mistreating you, when a man is disrespecting you, when a man is giving you any negative behavior, anything that don't feel good, why is it so difficult for you to remove access? Like, I really want to know. I'm not being facetious. I'm not being funny. If you on this live and you can type your answer, please do. Please help me to make it make sense. Because that's the part I just don't understand. Like, he loses access. That's it. That's the consequence. And it is a consequence. Like, that's how I teach people. I teach people by, sowing and reaping, right? There are consequences to how you treat me. And if you can't act right, if you can't talk right, if you don't know how to keep your hands to yourself, if you like to lie, if you like to steal, if you like to cheat, and whatever else you do, if you like to neglect, if you like to ignore, if I got to ask you over and over and over for what I consider to be the bare minimum, you lose access. You don't get to be around Anita. Okay? All right, Chrissy went. I think it has to start with, if as a child you've been given the autonomy to say, I don't like this, I don't want to be here anymore. Okay, I definitely can see that. I definitely believe that the root of it is in childhood. I agree with that. And I do think that if you never learned how to step into your sovereignty, and that's a lot of people. A lot of people are grown adults. I have friends, y'all. I have friends who are grown adults, and when they get around their parents, they act like they're 10 years old. They regress into a 10-year-old. I don't understand that because I don't do that with my parents. I'm a grown adult all day long. And I've been doing this with my parents since I was 20, 21. I've been talking to them like a grown adult woman. And honestly, I've been doing it with my dad since I was 16. Like my dad and I would have like grown adult conversations when I was 16, 17. I would push back on some things he would say or some thoughts I've been doing that with my dad since I was 16, 17. I started it with my mom around 2021 and been doing that ever since. Ever since. Like I'm an adult, I'm an adult. I have my own mind. I have my own thoughts. I have my own feelings. They may not align with yours, and that's okay. That's okay. I've been setting boundaries and all of that since very young. So I agree with you. That's the part that most women don't experience. Yeah, I agree with you. And one of the things that I do in my coaching practice, in my counseling practice too, you would not believe how many adults come into my counseling practice and they're looking for permission. Like they're looking for permission. And that kind of breaks my heart. They're looking, excuse me, springtime has sprung, y'all. My throat and my nose and my eyes. Springtime has sprung, so y'all gonna hear it in my throat. But they're looking for permission. And it's so sad. They're looking for permission to be themselves, to be autonomous, to step into their power. I don't understand it, but ladies, I'm on a mission, okay? When I tell y'all I'm on a mission, because you have to take 100% responsibility and accountability for your life. And if I hear another woman, and I'm saying this knowing I'm going to hear another woman, come into my practice, he did this, and he do that, and he won't do this, and he won't spend time, and he won't buy me anything, and we don't go nowhere, and and on and on and on. Again, I'm going to validate you, and then I'm going to ask you why you dealing with it. Like, that's never going to change. Those two things are going to happen every single time. I'm going to validate you. That sounds horrible. I can't believe this is happening. That sounds really bad. And this and that. I'm sorry that happened to you. But the second thing out of my mouth, and this is the part women don't want to hear, why are you allowing it? Why are you tolerating it? Why are you accepting it? They hate that. That's the part that they hate. They hate that part. How dare you put a mirror up to me and ask me to be 100% responsible for me? But that's what I'm going to do every single time. You have to. That's how you're going to become emotionally mature. So we have a lot of women right now who are not emotionally mature. They are immature as grown-ups. They're immature as women. They're still 10, 11, 12-year-old kids in 30, 35, 40, 45-year-old bodies. But I give people permission every day. It's time to grow up. Good morning, Alta. It's time to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. And what's so great about growing up, you have a better chance of getting what you want. When you stay stuck in that 11, 12, 13-year-old body, that teenage girl, it's not even body, mindset. When you stay stuck in that 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old mindset, that teenage girl mindset, you're not successful. Can I be real? You're not successful in life. You're not successful in relationships. You're not successful at work. You're not successful in your friendships. You're not successful in your family relationships. You're not successful with your kids because you still believe that something outside of you has to happen. You still believe that other people hold the key to your happiness. Other people is the reason why you don't have what you have, or you're not doing good, or you're not feeling good. You still believe that. But when you become a grown up, when you become a grown A woman, you take 100% accountability and responsibility for your life. And guess what? This is like the young lady said, this is rooted in childhood. So a lot of women don't want to do that because they feel ashamed. There's a lot of shame that comes with that, right? And the reason why it hurts you so bad, when I ask you, why are you with him? Why do you put up with it? Why do you tolerate it? Why do you accept it? I could see the shame come over people's faces. I could see it in their eyes. Here comes the shame. And you know what I tell them? Stay out of shame. I see it. I see it on your face. This is not to shame you. This is not to blame you. This is not to make you feel bad. This is to grow you up. This is so you can grow and become emotionally mature. Okay? There is no blame in me saying that. That's why I call it harsh truth. It's harsh truth. It's not blaming. But it is saying you have 100% responsibility, accountability, sovereignty over your life. And if nobody's ever told you that, now you know. Somebody has to tell you, yeah, you can get, ooh, and let me go here. Y'all gonna really not like this. If your mama is abusive, if your mama is neglectful and abusive and talk to you crazy and do you crazy, you could literally hang up the phone. See, this is what y'all don't want to let this seep into your system. You could hang up the phone and never call her back, and there's not a thing she could do about it. You could hang up the phone and never see her again, and there's not a thing she could do about it. Y'all don't want to hear that though, do you? You don't like that. You don't like the idea of you can leave people clean alone as an adult. That's how powerful being an adult is. Like, I could literally disappear off the face of the earth. My mother would be like, well, what's going on? What's happening? Look, she got 24 hours before she can file a missing person. Then let's say she filed a missing person. Let's say they find me. Let's say they find me. And I say to the police, oh, yes, I'm alive and well. I live here now. I've made a decision to make a clean break from my family. My family is incredibly abusive. My family is incredibly neglectful. They're incredibly toxic and dysfunctional. And I've made a decision to break away from them forever. So please let them know that. Let them know I'm alive and well and everything is fine. And look, the officer going to take that information back. There's not a thing my mother could do about it. Like, I need that to fully come over you. You must understand that. That's a harsh truth. And you know what? Your parents may need to hear that harsh truth. Your parents may need to understand that's a harsh truth. I could leave you alone, have nothing else to do with you again, and there's nothing you could do about it. But instead, a lot of people have been indoctrinated in blood is thicker than water. That's your mother. That's your father. That's your grandmother. You ain't going to go without seeing your Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. Because guess what Anita's life mantra is? No one, regardless of title, is allowed to abuse me. I actually have a sign above the front door that says that. No one, regardless of title, is allowed to abuse me. So I don't care if you my mama. I don't care if you my daddy. I don't care if you my grandmama, my granddaddy, my auntie, my uncle. I don't care if you my husband, the wife. I don't care if you my boyfriend, my girl. I don't care if you my children, my adult children. Everybody can get it. Everybody can get it. But see, you have been indoctrinated into you got to put up with it. You got to have a front row seat to the dysfunction. You got to stay toxic. Like, you've been indoctrinated in that. Many people have. You must get free. You must get free. And that is how you make positive change. That is how you grow. That is how you teach people how to treat you. Look at what people say to me. They say, you have very positive relationships with people. Like 98% of your relationships are incredibly positive. You have a good relationship with your mother. You have a good relationship with your father, your brother. Like, people respect you. My children, people respect me. I have positive, for the most part, relationships with people. And people ask me that all the time. Like, how? How do you do it? Baby, it's not hard. I am sovereign in my life. And I have very good boundaries. I take very little mess. Very little mess. I'll let you have a bad day. Okay? I'll let you have a bad day. I'll let you have a bad couple of days. But if that behavior becomes consistent, you lose access to Anita. Sure, I'll let you have a bad day or two. I'll let you, people go through stuff. I fuss and fight with all my people. And look, they always say the same thing. They like, you really love me. Like when I be fussing and cussing and fighting, well, I don't be cussing, but fussing and fighting with my people or giving them a hard time. I give my daughter a hard time. They like, that's love. That's care. That's someone that's invested in that person. Because if and they know me. They know me. They know when Anita is not invested, you don't hear nothing. You don't hear nothing. Anita don't say nothing. Because I'm not invested. I don't care. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you drive your car over that cliff. So the way you know that I'm 10 toes down with you, that I love you, that I have your back, you gonna hear this mouth. You gonna hear this mouth. And most men, once they figure that out, they know what time it is. When Anita ain't saying nothing, they like, uh-oh, this thing is on the way out. Because if Anita ain't got nothing to say to me, if Anita not checking me, if Anita not calling me, she not texting me, days have gone by and I ain't reached out and she ain't complained, oh, no, baby, we good. We good. You lose access. You lose access. I show my love and my care by speaking on it, by confronting you, by having hard conversations. That's how you know you got me. You got me. You're in my heart. But if I'm quiet, all right. World's blackest photographer says being an adult is also doing the right thing, but let weirdos tell it it's about executing poor judgment. Oh my God. Amen. Yes, black people, we can leave those toxic parents alone. Yes, we can. Look, and I get much hate. Look, this is how I know. In my counseling practice, y'all, I can't tell you how many, you gonna love this, how many parents of clients have reached out to me. I have had clients' mother or father or grandparent or uncle or auntie email me. Who is your therapist? Who is telling you this? What's her name? And look, they Google me, and I am easy to find. Google me, y'all. Google me today and watch what come up. Anita not hiding on no rock. Anita is very easy to find. You can find Anita online, on social media. Anita not hard to find. Okay? I have 2 businesses that's all over Google. So look, they find out my business. They email me. And I'm like, would you like to have a family session? Because first of all, I'm not going into no long diatribe for free. So that's what we ain't going to do. I'm not going into no long response for free. You're welcome to come in for a session. You're welcome to come in and talk to me on your own. You're welcome to come and talk to me with your son or daughter. So we're not fitting to do that. And I'll tell you to your face. I'll tell you to your face. I have had many a family session. And look, everybody in there is like, oh my goodness, like, oh, Anita just told my mama she is. Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, I sure did. Ooh, how about this? I don't owe my parents anything. Let's give some more harsh truth. I don't owe my parents anything. But can we keep it real in the black community? We are raised on guilt. That's indoctrinated in us. You owe me. I can't believe you ain't gonna come over here and do this and that, or loan me some money, or take me here, or let me stay with you. You owe me. I don't owe you nothing. Uh-oh. Yes, I did. I don't owe you a thing. Last I checked, you and my father, or you and my mother, y'all let y'all hormones get the best of you. You went and did what grown-ups do. And you had a child, and because you was raised right, you raised your child. That's it. I am not indebted to you. I do what I do for my mother and my father because I'm godly. I do what I do because I live and follow godly principles for my life. And it tells me to honor my mother and my father. And let's go even further. Now, if my mother and my father are a piece of crap, if they are toxic and abusive, if they want to steal from me and talk to me crazy and abuse me, I can honor them in other ways and still not give them access. One way I can honor them is just to keep my mouth closed. Sometimes I tell people that. Stop running around town talking bad about your mother or your father. Just keep your mouth closed and they lose access to you. You can honor your mother and your father that way, which is, you know what? I'm not going to speak on this situation, but I'm not going to give them access to me. There's lots of ways you can honor your mother and your father. My relationship with my mother and my father is voluntary. I signed up for it. I don't owe them anything. I don't owe them anything. They raised me right, and I'm godly. That's why we have the relationship we have. They raised me right. They're not abusive. They're not neglectful. They're not doing anything crazy. Yeah. And so that makes sense. It makes sense that if they're a positive influence in my life, I will keep knowing them. That's called common sense. But if they were strung out on drugs, if they were stealing from me, if they were lying on me, if they were abusive to me, no. So if you've never heard it, now you've heard it. Your relationship with your parents is voluntary. They can't make you do anything. But a lot of you all have been indoctrinated from childhood. It's like tying a little rope to a baby elephant's foot and putting a stake in the ground. That's how a lot of adults operate. You tie that rope to that baby elephant, you put that stake in the ground, and you do that day after day after day. That elephant becomes 3 tons. That elephant can, in no time, pull on that rope, pull that stake right out of the ground. But it's a mindset. He is indoctrinated to believe that that little rope with that stake in the ground is holding him there. So a lot of y'all got to wake up. And again, I'm not giving you permission to dishonor your parents. I'm not giving you permission to disrespect them back. We do not match negative energy. I do not match negative energy. People lose access. And I keep telling people this. They should just lose access. That's it. You're not going to cuss your mama out. You're not going to cuss your daddy out because that's not honoring them. But they will lose access. They will lose access. How I see it, 3, I've learned how to do so much of this because of you. Thank you. Thank you. That indoctrination was enforced when folks stopped being intentional when choosing the people around them. So yes, it's not hard. Having standards and boundaries is easy, but folk make it sound difficult. They do. They do. And they come up with every excuse in the world. That's my mama. That's my daddy. No, it really is not hard. I don't answer my mother's calls before 7 a.m., 8 a.m. My mother used to call me every day at 5:15, 5:20. And one day I said, I don't have to answer. Like, why? Instead of being mad at her for calling, why am I answering? That's the harsh truth. Like, we have to be willing to look at ourselves. And this conversation started with me telling the ladies, stop complaining about these men. You have to at some point say, why do I put up with it? Why am I accepting it? Why do I stick around over and over and over and let this man treat me bad over and over? At some point, you have to look at yourself. But when I woke up to, you know what? I don't have to answer. I can put on Do Not Disturb. And in my world, Do Not Disturb doesn't cut off until 7. So I don't have to answer. and once I let that get into my mind and my spirit, I didn't answer. And then look, when I would come for Sunday dinner, I've been calling you, and I don't answer my phone before 7 a.m. I said that maybe 2 times, y'all. And then I just didn't answer. I said it once, maybe a month went by, I said it again, and then I never answered. And do you know my mother don't call me no more? Like, she figured it out. She's not going to answer, and there ain't a damn thing I can do about it. So, some of y'all, discernment is a beautiful quality to have. Yes, it is, and it'll save your life. It'll save your life. I've never met a woman with the name Anita that played any games. Baby. So I consider that a compliment because I play no games. None. They called because you exposed their witchcraft. Lord. I can agree with this. Yeah. But we have got to take sovereignty over our lives. Your whole life is going to change when you do that. When you start asking hard questions, and these are shadow questions, right? These are shadow questions. You're going to feel shame. You're going to feel blame. You're going to feel guilt, right? Those are all shadow emotions, right? You're going to feel those emotions. You have to feel it. You have to acknowledge it. Why do I feel guilty? Why do I feel ashamed right now? Why do I feel like I'm to blame all the time? No. Emotionally mature people rarely feel those emotions because they can look in the mirror. They can be self-aware. They can sit with themselves and say, Anita, you the problem. I've done it plenty of times. I've just sat with myself. You the problem, baby. What do you want to do about this? Because you can't make him do anything. Now put it on you. Put it on you, Anita. What are you going to do about this? If this behavior with this man never changed, you're the problem. Once I started talking to myself like that, my whole world changed. My whole life changed. I started getting success in all of these areas. I've done it recently with my money. I said, Anita, you the problem. You the problem. So you want to eat out, you want to get coffee, you want to, go to stores and get little knick-knacky stuff. You the problem, baby. Okay? And I don't care if the little knick-knacky stuff costs $2, $3, $5. It adds up. It adds up. Stop doing that. You take that $2, $3, $5, you put it in the jar you got in your room, you put it in an account, you put it somewhere. But you're the problem. Okay? You make plenty of money. There's no excuse for this nonsense. You are the problem. Once I said that to myself, I'm like, I am the problem. It's me. That's it. There's no shame in that. We're all doing the best we can. There is no shame in that. And look, y'all, I know shame right now is running rampant amongst black men. All right, now I'm going to turn it to y'all. Amongst black men, shame is running rampant. You take everything women say, everything that anyone says that's like, hey, you could do better in this area. Hey, this is something I want you to look at. Hey, what do you think about? So now you blaming us. So now it done turned into blaming men. I'm sorry, what? Now, here we go, blaming men. Baby, that's a shame response. That's a shame response. Nobody is blaming and nobody is shaming. But that's a response. That's an inner response coming from you. There's work there. There's work there. And then look, they shoot back with, no, it ain't nothing wrong with me. And that's just you trying to this, and that's just you trying. No, I do this for a living. I do this for a living. People with healthy ego response, people with, healthy identity, they don't take everything that everybody say personally. So there's work there that needs to be done. I had my good friend who just called me out the other day. Yeah, you made a bad choice. The man you married, like, he got no pushback from me. Yep, I made a horrible choice. My children are still feeling the effects of my horrible choice of their father. See? Okay, I don't feel any kind of way. I don't feel bad. I don't feel sad. I don't feel guilty. I don't feel ashamed. I made a mistake. That's it. I made a mistake over 27 years, 26, 27 years ago. I made a mistake. And that mistake had long and far-reaching consequences. That's it. That's all that happened. Outside of that, I got nothing. I don't like when grown kids say, didn't ask to be here and continue to ask for things. Yeah, there is a level of entitlement that some people have. All relations are voluntary. We are adult now. Yay, and I love it. All right, Khadijah, I know that somebody need to be set free. Somebody need to be set free. Okay, I'm just saying. Somebody needs to be set free. And I'm here to set us black folks free because our community specializes in the guilt trip. Like when you look up guilt trip, you're going to see Big Mama. You're going to see Daddy, or you're going to see Auntie, or you going to see a black person when you look up guilt trip. We specialize in guilt trip. And look, I have Indian friends. They say their parents do it. I have Asian friends. They say their parents do it. So I got Hispanic friends. They're like, nah, No, Anita, it's in other communities. I was like, is it? Because I know we specialize. We specialize in the guilt trip, y'all. I help my parents based on actions. Okay. But somebody need to be set free. I self-reflect all the time to see where I made mistakes, then make the corrections needed to change or take accountability. And that's called emotional maturity. See, that's what emotionally mature grown-ups do. Quick offense, and I don't feel guilty. Yep. Continuous improvement over faking perfection. Yes. Yes. I'm with you there, Miss Anita, and people aren't going to continue to gaslight me about it. Yeah, that's it. Like I said, my mom every now and again, it's rare now, very rare, but every now and again, like we went to Sunday dinner and she was like, yeah, we're having this thing at our hall and I really want you to go. I was like, She'll try to little guilt trip. And I know the kids have never been, and well, again, they're grown. I'm grown. So it's really on them. Like nothing you say right now is going to guilt me or them into going anywhere or doing anything. That's it. Well, it sure would be nice if y'all came. And look, then I told her, well, I already have an event that night. I already have an event to be at. I said, it's probably going to be over after this thing starts. So I already have an event. And that was it. That was the whole conversation. Look, she gave me the little invite. I took it home. The end. She will not call me again. She will not text me again. It's over. I am an adult. I have sovereignty over my life. I will decide whether I will participate or not. And you all need to do the same. But ladies, I'm going in here to my appointment. We have to grow up. And I'm only telling you this because I had to do it. I had to grow up. Now, I come from a different generation, so I grew up far faster than women are growing up today. By the time I was, 23, 24, 25, yeah, that's when it sunk in. You got to grow up. Like, you're not a kid. You're an adult. You got to start taking accountability and responsibility. It sucks. There will be times that it sucks. But, at the end of the day, so it's like a double-edged sword, right? There's two sides of this. It will suck in that, okay, this is on me. This is my responsibility and accountability. Here's the other side, though, and this is the side I focus on the most. The other side is I get to do it my way. I get to do what I want. I get to create my ideal life. I get to do whatever I want. That is very freeing to me. That is amazing to me. So that's the part that I focus on more is I get to make a decision. I get to get out of this. I don't have to stay in this. One of the things, like I said, that a lot of women, they've been indoctrinated. The culture has told them, you got to do this. You got to stay here. You got to put up with it. Or there's nobody else you can be with. Nobody else will want you. No, that's a lie. That's a lie from the pit of hell. I can leave this relationship. I can leave this marriage and be just fine. Just fine. Trust me. And how about this? Even if I don't jump into another relationship, I'm going to be just fine. Single is not a curse. But staying in something and being consistently mistreated. Because like I said, with Anita, you can have a bad day. You can have a bad week. But at some point, I'm going to rein you in. I'm going to say, hey, this going on. This going on a little too long. What's happening? What's going on? Get yourself together. Like, nah, you can have a bad day. Nobody is perfect. But you're not going to consistently neglect me. You're not going to consistently talk to me any kind of way. You're not going to cheat on me, lie to me. You're not, no, okay? So I hope this freed somebody. I really do. She said, OMG, that's the whole thing. Please don't tell me no one else will want me. Not only is that a red flag for me, but that's ammunition. Yeah. And like I said, yeah, she said there's so much freedom in that. It is. It is. And it just blows my mind. Why don't y'all want to be free? Why don't y'all want to be free? Look, I had a old colleague of mine. This was crazy, y'all. An old white colleague of mine. And I believe that they said it like I took it as a compliment because I believe they meant it as a compliment. So they was like, Anita, if you was alive in the slave time, you and Harriet Tubman, like they said, you and Harriet Tubman would have been a force to be reckoned with. I was like, okay, I'll take that. I was like, I'll take that, right? Because I believe they said it as a compliment. They're like, you're not a person that follows the crowd. You're not a person that can be held down. You're going to figure it out. You're going to find a way. You're going to rise up. You're just not. I said, no, you're exactly right. But here's the difference. I would have used this. Like I would have been working in the big house or working out in the field, and I would have had this going the whole time. I would have had my mind going. I would have been like, yeah, y'all, this is what we going to do. This how we going to do it. This way. And look, even when I look at these old slave movies and I see how people be moving, my kids get mad because I'll be like, no, don't do that. Do this. Like, do this. Keep running. Don't. I come up with all these scenarios, but I'm not going to be held down. I'm not going to be raped by massa. I'm not going to be, I'm not cut from that cloth. So, yeah, I think he said it as a compliment, but he was like, yeah, you and Harriet Tubman would have been a force to be reckoned with. Y'all would have, it would have been, y'all would have been cold, nothing but the truth. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it because I'm not built for it. They'll say, how will you make it without me? Like I did before I met you. Exactly. I know, it's so silly. So y'all, please don't. Exactly. Try to remember a time before you met that person. That'll wake you up. And if you did it then, you can do it again. Okay. All right. Have a great day. It is a beautiful day here. I cannot wait to get out for a walk. I'm going to go for a walk for about an hour on my break. And, masterclass, dark feminine versus light feminine. We're going to have a masterclass on March 31st of this month. I believe it starts at 7:30, and I will start advertising for it this weekend. There'll be a link in the bio if you want to get signed up. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And as always, stay open to love.